finish.
Thank you very much, Freak. We'd like to welcome Cloud9's King of the Jungle, Meteos, to the desk. Congratulations on the win. I'm sure you're making some people think that tweeted out today their favorite NALCS plays might have changed after that one. And now I have to ask you, how many times has that actually happened in your professional career in a solo queue chance? Has that ever happened before for you?
Actually, building full damage on Nocturne is something I do in scrims where when everything goes really badly early game, because Nocturne can't help that much early game, I just sort of say YOLO and just build full damage and hope that I can split push. I've never had it to that extent where I actually take the Nexus, but usually I can 1v1 most people and just put a lot of pressure down there, and then usually their team groups up and kills me a lot. But I managed to not die that many times that game, and then it worked out somehow.
Right on. We actually saw you a few times in those fights, maybe not building full damage on junglers a lot. You're forgetting to use the Yomus and the Cutlass. Was it just not the Randuins?
It's so many buttons to press. Like, when I go in, I press Alt, and then while I'm alting in, I'm trying to start my Fear Tether, Spell Shield something, Yomus, and Bork all at once. So it's like playing the piano on my keyboard.
You just got to use your whole hand.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to set it like all the things on the numpad, just start spamming that with my right hand.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's pretty hard to do, and I forget some of the hotkeys sometimes. I think there's one kill I missed because I didn't Bork, and I didn't Yomu sometimes, so I don't know. I'm not that good at button mashing, I guess.
It happens.
Just kind of a general question, though, about that game with Team Coast, because you guys have been so dominant kind of up until that game. Why did it actually get out of hand in the first place?
Well, honestly, I think it's just because we locked in first place yesterday, so this game didn't mean as much, and I think we just weren't really there mentally. We were dying to stuff early game that I would sort of be like, hey, I think Eve's top, and then balls would die. And it happens in scrims a lot where when the game doesn't matter as much, I feel like we sort of slack off. Right. And that definitely just, came back and bit us that game. And we probably should have lost, honestly. So it really wasn't a good performance from us. Coast played really well. I think better than I guess we expected them to.
Yeah, well, you still won, got the 13-game winning streak. And we do have a replay of the final sequence because we just kind of want to live through it one more time. If we just pull that back up on our screen. Meteos, tell me what your team communication was like as you did your own thing.
They got Baron for the second time, and we knew there's no way we could win a fight at this point because I'm useless in team fight, so I was just splitting bot. I got the inhibitor, and then I was like, I'm not going to come back because I won't really do anything if I do, so just try to stop them from recalling.
Because you hid in the fog of war for a little while.
Yeah, I did because I wanted them to think I was backing to get them to go in like that. And then as soon as they went in, I just said, okay, cancel the recalls. And we basically went all out trying to cancel recalls. I said I can probably end the game if you can just cancel them. So they split up like they should, trying to get the recalls off. Lee Sin flashes away to try to get his recall or teleport or something. But my team did a good job of stopping the recalls. And when Nocturne has that much damage, he's got an AD steroid and an attack speed steroid plus full damage items. So I kill turrets extremely quickly.
In that game, slowly the Coast was able to pretty much take a very big lead. What led to all of this? How were you guys able to creep back into the game to even allow you to begin split pushing again? Because Coast had quite a lead.
They did have a huge lead. One thing we had going for us is we had Gragas plus a bunch of tanky champions that are hard to kill. We had Gragas, Renekton, Lucian, and Karma, actually, which are all just incredibly hard champions to dive or kill or anything. And so with Gragas' wave clear, we were able to sort of do damage control. We kept trying to fight for objectives even when we were behind, which was really bad. But I guess we thought we could win the fights. And I don't know. It definitely wasn't a good game for us. But
yeah, still counts. You have the memory now of killing both Nexus turrets by yourself while the enemy team had all 5 people alive. That's never happened before, really, in the LCS. At least you have that. But I do want to talk to you a little bit about yesterday, because we didn't hear too much from your team after the win against TSM. How huge was that for you, and how did it feel knowing you were locked down the #1 seed?
It was huge because I think that might have been the first time we've been #1 all split. Maybe we were #1 for a bit in the beginning, but anyway, it was a big win for us. TSMs looked good all split. All of our games for some are close, and we got I don't really remember the game that well. I think we got an advantage early, and we were just able to snowball on them. So, I mean, it felt good to win.
Yeah, you guys definitely dominated TSM, and I almost want to ask you now, you have 2 weeks off before playoffs, and you guys have been going non-stop, really, for 12 weeks, because the off week at the LCS was you guys at IM Katowice. What's it going to be like having those 2 weeks off?
Well, it's basically going to be the same thing, just a ton of practice. I've actually sort of taken a couple days off these past few days because patch 4.5 is a huge change for the jungle, and so I didn't really want to solo queue, plus all the rune changes would make me mess up my damage values. So I've been playing a lot of Hearthstone, and then so this next 2 weeks basically is not going to be a break, and we're just going to practice a lot, get as many scrims as we can, and try to come in strong for the playoffs.
Early impressions on the 4.5 patch. I've heard Scar talking about how happy Crumbs is that carry junglers might be a little bit stronger. What are your thoughts?
I haven't actually. I played one game where I played Lee Sin and lost to Shifters and Zhao, which apparently he's been winning every game with.
Mid or jungle?
He's been playing jungles and Zhao. Okay. He was like 0-10 and he still won the game. I don't know. He's just too good at the champion. And so, yeah, I guess Feral Flare is really strong is what I've been hearing. So I have a lot to try out. Some champions have gotten buffed, some have gotten nerfed. The items have gotten changed, so there's a lot of work to do.
And what happens when something like that, where the jungle will be affected a bit? How does the team kind of respond to that overall? Is it like, let's see what Meteos can do now, or are you going to kind of roll with the punches as they have been for Cloud9?
Well, we basically just, look at all the changes. We try to get an idea in our head of what will be good, and sometimes that's, it's correct, and sometimes we're way off. And then we just see what works. In scrims, if we lose consistently to one strategy, we'll try that strategy to see if it's a really good strategy or if we're just playing badly against it. So basically, it's just what we've always done. This is a pretty big change, so there'll be a lot of things we need to relearn, but I'm pretty excited for it. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, Cloud9 always tries to find the most overpowered things in these patches. But really, this upcoming game we have, the deciding match for 7th place, XTG versus EG. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
This is going to be a pretty cool matchup because both these teams really don't want 8th place. LMQ looks extremely strong, and they're likely to play the 8th place LCS team. So I think these teams are going to give it all they got, and it should be a really good game.
All right, Meteos, actually, who are you giving it to? One final question. Is it going to be XTG or EG?
Who am I giving it to? Well, EG's 2-1 against XTG, so probably EG. But I don't really know.
Pulls up the numbers.
Going with the numbers don't lie. That's what we do. Great job. Congratulations on the win. First place, locking that down, and Cloud9 for another successful split. All right, everyone. There's still more LCS coming our way after the break with XTG facing off against Evil Geniuses in the battle for